DARPA isn't silly, you know, IBM isn't silly. Their goal within 10 years is to have a fully functioning human brain. And the goal behind that is that they have actually gone on record, Dharmendra, who's the engineer behind IBM Research, has gone on record is they want this to be the global brain. They want this brain to manage all information flows from around the world. Now, the question then becomes is, if the brain develops consciousness, right, and then it starts becoming responsible for all information flows, like what have we done as humanity? Like where have we passed the baton? You've passed the baton to a machine. For what reason? For the reason that you can build the machine? Is that the reason? And that's what happens with science, is that they do it not because they think it out or for the moral good. They do it because they can. They do it because they can. So they can tick that box, keep getting their funding, right? Keep impressing their peers. So what we need to look at is these guys that are fronting the universities, they're nothing more than talking heads at the end of the day. I have, apart from the odd one who basically does front a university, they are high-class prostitutes, and it needs to be said. They're on a payroll, they have an agenda, and then once that contract is done, let's say, you know, a 2-year research program, it's handed off to the military-industrial complex. It's blatantly obvious. It has to be blatantly obvious, because when you scrape through the veneer, right, you have the same company that controlled the Hollerith machine, owns Verichip, seed-funded Verichip in 1999, wrote off a $95 million debt for $30 million. So you tell me anyone in the credit world that loans out $95 million and writes it off for $30 million. I could go loan $6,000 from a bank. That'd have me and my family on the street if I couldn't make payments. And here we have IBM Credit writing off $60 million, has shares in the company. When Verichip actually showcases the product being demonstrated, it's demonstrated in their Texas lab. It's like the game's up. The cat's out of the bag. You own Verichip. I have to take I guess the passion, the anger, and just reduce it back, because this is a chess game that's being played, and it has to be played methodically. You can't break the rules, because you can't break the rules. Things have changed, you know, like for example, our movement, if you look at it from the US domestic lexicon, we're basically considered neo-Luddites, which are considered terrorist extremists, right? So according to the US government, if I don't embrace microchipping technology, I'm a terrorist? Like, I mean, where have we gone? And for the record, I'm not a technophobe. I've worked for Apple, I've worked for Xerox. I think technology is marvelous, right? But when the technology starts falling into the hands of documented war criminals, well, that's an alarm bell that sounds, and it needs to be heard. The goal is to digitize you, is to take your physical form and create a perversion of the human spirit which lives in the mainframe. And then eventually the goal will be for the transhumanist lie will come down the road and say, look, Greg, you know, look, you've got a pretty average job, right? Okay. How about you get to live in the mainframe? You have 4 wives, okay? And once you get bored of that, well, hell, you can experiment being a girl. And then we can bring you back as a red-crested parakeet, right? And go for your life. To the average person out there who has a normal job, right? Say you're making, you know, $40,000, $60,000 a year, okay? Have a look at the corruption that occurs in your job, right? Have a look at how managers treat, you know, the young workers that come in, the power struggles that occur. Now, there's, even in places that I've worked, there's arguments over what biscuits you buy, you know, and there's power struggles over that. Now, throw in trillions of dollars, right? Drug cartels, the military, war, psychopaths, power mongers, and you tell me what's possible. It's not possible. It's happening. We at the end of the day, and people need to understand this, It is the psychopaths that rise to the top. It has always been that way. And they go, we fully support you.
Yeah. Really?
We fully support you, but I'll just watch you march forward, and if you get your head cut off, well...
At least it's not me.
Yeah, at least it's not me, but remember, I'm in it for you. I'm in it for you, you know?
Oh,
And look, for me, right, what it comes down to, it's like this, okay? They are marching down the hill, right, with guns drawn, weapons drawn, right? And what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, if it has to get to that, at least die with dignity, you know? It is about, you do not submit to a system that basically is a lie in the first place. That would be the ultimate lie to yourself. So, do you choose the lie or do you choose dignity? It is as simple as that.